Have you ever wondered if you've met a sociopath, a psychopath, a narcissist, or even a dark empath? Online, these labels get thrown around constantly, but behind the dramatic names are real personality patterns, and some can seriously impact your mental health. So instead of asking, who's the villain, let's ask a better question. How do these personalities actually affect the people around them? First, let's talk about sociopathy. Sociopathy falls under antisocial personality disorder.
Come on, enjoy the coffee.
Sociopaths tend to have low
You look like you
empathy
got
and a
dressed in
weak
the
sense
dark.
of guilt.
That's not
They
funny.
may
It
know
really
their
hurts.
actions are
Relax,
wrong,
it's
but
just
they
a joke.
justify them. They can be impulsive,
done with this!
hot-tempered, and
Wait,
reckless.
please don't!
If a sociopath hurts someone and gets confronted, they may react with anger instead of remorse. Their behavior is
your
often
fault.
linked to
No, you're the
early
one who started
environmental
it.
factors,
I can't take this anymore. Just
unstable
leave then.
family dynamics, trauma, neglect. They're unpredictable, emotional, reactive. Now compare that to the psychopath, also under antisocial personality disorder, but very different in presentation. Where the sociopath is chaotic, the psychopath is controlled. Psychopaths typically show extremely low empathy and shallow emotional responses, but unlike sociopaths, they can appear calm, charming, and socially skilled. They don't explode, they calculate. One key difference: psychopaths can mimic emotional responses when it benefits them. They may understand what you feel, not because they care, but because it helps them manipulate outcomes. And because they appear normal, they can be much harder to detect. Next, narcissism. Narcissistic personality disorder centers around grandiosity, entitlement, and a deep need for admiration. A narcissist often sees relationships as extensions of
Why
themselves.
isn't this working?
People become
That's it, I'm
sources of
done.
validation, what psychologists sometimes call supply. When admiration
Only
flows,
5 likes?
things
Seriously?
feel good.
Why aren't
When
you
it
more
doesn't,
supportive?
What? I am
criticism,
supportive. What's wrong?
withdrawal,
I
or
don't get it.
devaluation can follow. Interestingly, narcissistic
Looking
traits
good today.
often develop as a
Time for a
defense
twirl.
mechanism, sometimes from childhood environments that were either excessively critical or excessively idealizing. Underneath the ego, there's often fragile self-worth. And then there's the dark empath. This is a newer concept studied in personality research. Dark empaths score high in traits like narcissism, Machiavellianism, or psychopathy, but also high in cognitive empathy. That means they understand what others are feeling very well, but emotional empathy, actually feeling another person's pain, may be low. In simple terms, they know exactly where it hurts, they just don't feel the pain themselves. This combination can make manipulation especially subtle and psychologically damaging. So who is the most harmful? There isn't a simple winner. A chaotic sociopath can create instability. A narcissist can erode your self-esteem slowly over time. A psychopath can exploit without remorse. A dark empath can manipulate with precision. But here's what matters more than labels. If someone repeatedly violates your boundaries, dismisses your feelings, manipulates your reality, or makes you feel unsafe, that's the real red flag. You don't need a diagnosis to justify protecting yourself. And remember, personality disorders exist on spectrums. Not everyone with traits is abusive, but you are never obligated to tolerate harm. The most powerful question isn't who's the most dangerous, it's does this relationship feel safe, respectful, and healthy? If it doesn't, trust that signal. Stay aware, stay grounded, and most importantly, stay safe. If this helped you understand these personality patterns better, let me know your thoughts in the comments, because awareness is protection.